That's right. This time last year, ringing in 2023, I was under a table eating 12 grapes and wearing red panties under my outfit. Was it weird? Totally. Absolutely. Super weird. Did it change my year? Will I be sitting under a table eating 12 grapes with red panties at midnight on New Year's Eve this year? Hey there, besties, and welcome to our cozy corner of the podcasting world. It's time for another episode of Share a Latte. I'm Min, your virtual coffee bestie and host. Imagine us in a cozy cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee in the air, and ready to embark on an inspiring journey. In each episode, remarkable women share their stories of triumphs over life's challenges, providing a warm embrace for your soul. These tales remind you of resilience and determination are keys to success. So grab your favorite brew, get comfy, and join us for the conversation that will awaken your mind and heart. You'll discover your own power to turn tough times into incredible strengths. The Share a Latte podcast sprinkles hope and courage and the belief that you can not only handle, but thrive into your day. All right, besties, let's embrace those tales of triumphs and get ready for another awesome episode of Share a Latte. Hey, coffee besties, and welcome back to another episode of Share a Latte, the podcast where we come together over a virtual latte to listen to amazing stories of women who've overcome life's challenges. I'm your host, Min Sukree, and every Thursday, I'm serving up not just coffee, but a generous pour of life's wisdoms. I'm sharing stories from my personal journey, hoping they resonate with yours. Let's kick things off with our favorite caffeine ritual. Today, I'm having a relaxing chocolate tea to help satisfy my sweet tooth and create more of a slow down vibe. Mostly because we're in the middle of Christmas and New Year's, and I just need a moment of relaxation. So what's in your cup, bestie? I'm always so excited to see what's in your cup. If you want to share your coffee cup with me, if you need somebody to talk to, some big sister advice, and of course, if you're looking for some advice on that podcast you're dying to launch, because besties, I got you. You can always catch me on Instagram at @adminavenger. If you were on the side of TikTok last year where women all over the world were talking about being under a table, eating 12 grapes and wearing red panties, and thought to yourself, I could do that, what could it hurt? And you tried it? I am with you. That's right. This time last year, ringing in 2023, I was under a table eating 12 grapes and wearing red panties under my outfit. Was it weird? Totally. Absolutely. Super weird. Did it change my year? Well, okay, before we get into too much, let's first go over the Spanish tradition of eating 12 grapes under a table when the clock strikes midnight in red panties. While eating the 12 grapes, it's beneficial to make 12 wishes, one per grape, one per month, and eat them all before the 12th chime. This is to help bring in prosperity, luck, and good fortune into the new year. There are women all over the world on TikTok who tried the grape and panty ritual last year and are now with their significant others. This tradition was popularized by TikTok, but it was also in an episode of Modern Family where Sofia Vergara's character shares with her husband how eating 12 grapes changed her life from being a single mom living in the slums to being married to an amazing husband driving to Palm Springs for their vacation. So maybe this tradition is a little out there, but I was really keen to see what this could potentially do to my year. I was unable to find my wish list for 2023, and this isn't to say that I don't remember some of my wishes. And in this episode, I'll be sharing some of my insights on the ritual and how my year panned out. After making my wishes on New Year's Eve, I went about my day. I've been telling people since the launch of this podcast that I really came into 2023 with no goals. 2022 was a really hard year for me, and I fell flat on my face. And I fell often. I felt everything I was working towards and everything I had achieved up till that point was no longer working out in my favor. So when we entered in 2023, I tiptoed in as if not to disturb anyone. I was also burnt out. I felt like I'd maxed out on all my creativity. Relationships that I thought were lifelong friendships proved to be not that and were nothing as to what I thought they were. In January, I decided to enjoy a little bit of my life. I saw Old Dominion in concert. I was living in a gorgeous apartment that I loved, and not only was taking care of my space, but eventually I started taking time for the gym and started taking care of my body. I never made an official announcement, but the relationship I had with myself was definitely taking center stage. February rolled in and Rihanna gave an epic halftime show showing that even pregnant women can perform in the sky and sell $1 billion of makeup without any commercials. I reconnected with old friends and started taking steps into building a solid daily routine that would help my mental, spiritual, and physical health. As the snow lingered and March slowly warmed the weather up, I decided that it was time to take a little visit out to BC. I had also noticed at around this time that my apartment building had a larger apartment a few floors above mine for rent. I knew that there was no possibilities of being able to obtain that apartment since I was only a few months into my current lease and there was no way that I could break my lease without some serious penalties. I decided there was no reason to look, but in my mind and heart, I'd already fallen in love with this apartment. A few days before leaving for my BC trip, I signed a new lease on my bigger apartment. I would soon have a walk-in closet, a larger living space, and a dedicated office. This manifestation was the first time I had realized how powerful my thoughts were because it all happened so quickly. In April, something in the sky supercharged me with a high voltage of productivity and creativity. A fire was definitely lit under me. I started working on my website. I was building new relationships and friendships. I even started working on the initial idea of Share a Latte. Through most of this time, I was in a relationship, but if I'm being honest, it was more of a situationship. Not something I'd like to disclose, but it is what it is. When I look back on the first quarter of 2023, life was good and I was taking small steps into being more creative and a better healed version of myself. In May, I settled into my new condo, traveled to Toronto, and connected with more amazing women who'd gone through their own struggles. This really set the tone for what I loved. Sitting and chatting with new people, exploring their stories, learning from their struggles, and cheersing to their successes. As summer rolled in, I decided it was time to explore the world around me and travel to Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire. I explored small towns and cute little coffee shops, taking the path less traveled in those states. Into an episode called Poor Wisdom, the one where we learn that life is too short, I talk about saying yes more. In the summer of 2023, I learned to say yes to more of life's amazing experiences. I spent most of the summer connecting with more amazing women and preparing for the launch of Share a Latte. I attended an outdoor festival and watched Shania Twain. In August, my website was in a better state. My business was slowly gaining traction again and bringing in more revenue. And I had launched this podcast. September rolled in, and while things in my business seemed to be getting back on track, it was clear my relationships were changing. Not only the romantic one, but also the relationships with friends and family. I attended a CEO retreat in Palm Springs where I learned to let go of some of my limiting beliefs, step into my CEO self, and increase my prices within my business. I reevaluated new and exciting ideas for my business, and in reevaluating my business, I took a hard look at all my relationships. I recognized how I contributed to their fractures and how they contributed to my overall being. I made a conscious decision to set heavy boundaries and let go of my situationship. As the leaves changed color, I changed the relationships around me. I once heard a quote that said, "Ships don't sink from the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them." I understand that this quote relates more than just the relationships around us, but I also started realizing that the relationships around me were not making me the best, healthiest, and happiest version of myself. I was no longer going to allow the water around me to drown me. The people around me were going to start to encourage and uplift me. It was time for me to cultivate relationships that would do just that. The last quarter of this year was a total blur. Everything moved so quickly. I started setting up systems in my business to reach new heights. I connected with an old friend and we started developing a relationship. We connected over my love for Taylor Swift and his love for football stats. He encouraged and even inspired previous episodes of Share a Latte, and I started to really understand the true meaning of if he wanted to, he would. One of my wishes for 2023 was to be with someone who understood my dedication to my business and wouldn't be intimidated by my ambition and potential spotlight. Another wish for 2023 was to cultivate relationships with more amazing women and to be an encouraging cheerleader in all aspects of their life. In launching Share a Latte, I've been able to meet and build relationships with women that will last a lifetime. Did 2023 end the way I thought it would? No. Did the grapes help me find the love of my life or increase the revenue in my business? To be honest, I'm still not sure. Will I be sitting under a table eating 12 grapes with red panties at midnight on New Year's Eve this year? Absolutely. As we're wrapping up this journey through 2023, I want to leave you with a latte full of warmth and inspiration. Life is a blend of bitter and sweet, just like our favorite coffee, and in this year, this brew was unique for me. Here's the thing. Life's too short for bland experiences and lukewarm connections. Take a sip of courage, my latte and podcast lovers. Try these quirky traditions like 12 grapes and red panties under a table. Who knows, it might just add a little sprinkle of magic to your story just like it did mine. In the world of coffee, we often stick to our usual order, hesitant to explore new flavors. But hey, how about you challenge yourself to try a different roast, a unique blend, or even a fancy chocolate tea? Because much like life, the best stories unfold when we step out of our comfort zones. Eating 12 grapes might sound a little out there, but so does ordering a lavender-infused latte until you try it. Embrace the unexpected, friends. Life is a grand coffee house, and there's always room for a new favorite on the menu. As you sip on your next cup of coffee, or maybe indulge in a chocolate tea like I did today, remember this. Each day is a fresh brew, and there's a world of wonderful flavors waiting for you to savor. Seek out those amazing experiences, cultivate those relationships that uplift you, and don't be afraid to step out into the unknown. So here's to saying yes to life's adventures, to trying something new, and to always having a cup of something comfortable by your side. Whether it's a latte or a unique blend of experiences, let's keep brewing up joy, one sip at a time. Until next time, my latte besties, keep your cups full, your hearts warm, and your spirits adventurous. Cheers to a year ahead with delightful surprises and the richness of life's wonders. I'll catch you guys next time on Share a Latte. If today's episode warmed your heart, please hit that subscribe button and join me on future journeys. Enjoyed the chat today? Your thoughts and feedback mean the world to me, and they really help others find the magic in Share a Latte. Every story enriches our journey. Remember, you can turn your trials into triumphs and your scars into stars. Keep believing and keep chasing those dreams. This is Min taking her last sip from the Share a Latte podcast, where life happens and coffee helps.